In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful, dear students, today I am going to discuss with you the most important and challenging topic of your syllabus of O levels Cambridge Islamiyat, code 2058, maybe 2068, and maybe 0493 whatsoever. That is the topic of legal thinking, sources of Islamic law. I know that it is a really challenging and technical topic because it is concerned with Islamic law. So be attentive to understand this topic. First of all, I guide you about that how this topic can be asked in your exam. For example, the topic of legal thinking, it can be asked in the form of this question, that how the Quran and Hadith or Sunnah are used together in legal thinking. It may be asked like write about the ways in which primary sources of Islamic law are used together. It may be asked like this, write about the ways in which Quran and Sunnah are used in Islamic law. So these are the forms of the question, but make sure and never get confused. The answer would be same. So now we come to the answer. I have shared with you that this topic, it could be asked in exam in various ways. So never get confused. And I always advise my students that understanding of the question is more important than answering the question. If you have understood the question exactly, then you can be able to answer the question exactly. So let's discuss the sources of Islamic law or legal thinking. First of all, we can categorize the sources of Islamic law in two categories: the primary sources and the secondary sources. Quran and Sunnah or Hadith, they are the primary sources of Islamic law, while Ijma, the consensus of the jurist, and Qiyas, analogy, they are the secondary sources of Islamic law. But in this session, I will guide you about the primary sources, that are Quran and Hadith or Sunnah. My topic is how the primary sources of Islamic law are used together, or Quran and Hadith are used in Islamic law as a legal source. Quran is the word. What is Quran? Quran is the word of Almighty Allah. Teachings, commandments, statements, each and everything, it is attributed to Almighty Allah. And Quran is a divine message that is definitely free from any error, mistakes, and flaw. So this is the belief of the Muslims about the Holy Quran. So it contains the main teachings and guidance for humankind, and in matters of faith and worship, ruling, relating to what is right, what is wrong, family laws, etc. Quran, it is considered as the final divine message sent by Almighty Allah. So it is complete in its teachings and guidance. Quran is the foremost authority in Islamic law. First of all, when any matter arises, any issue arises, Quran would be consulted as the first source of Islamic law. And if we find that Quran is silent on certain matter, then we would look into the Hadith and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Remember, in this question, the word of Hadith and Sunnah, it would be considered in same meaning. Okay. Quran is a brief description of the commandments of Almighty Allah, while hadith, it is the explanation and elaboration of the commandments of Almighty Allah. And it has been mentioned in Holy Quran. It has been mentioned in Holy Quran in chapter 4, Surah An-Nisa, chapter 4, verse number 65, that Allah said about hadith and sunnah that we have revealed you the reminder Quran, so that you may explain clearly to the people. So keeping in view this statement of Quran, in which Allah advised the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that we have revealed the Quran to you, so it is your duty to explain it to the people. So when Quran is silent, it doesn't mean that Quran is unable to provide the solution of any certain problem. It means that Quran refers that case to hadith and sunnah of the Prophet to elaborate it, because this authority has been given by Allah to the hadith and sunnah of the Holy Prophet, as I have mentioned in chapter 4, Surah Nisa, verse number 65. And on legal matters, Allah said in Holy Quran, chapter number 4, verse number 80, Allah said, by your Lord, they cannot become the true believers until they make you judge in every dispute that arises amongst them. So this is the Quranic injunction that guides us about the legal matters, how they would be settled. So here, therefore, we find many laws in Islam on which Quran is silent, and it refers the case to hadith and sunnah of the Holy Prophet. For example, the prohibition of drinking wine, that is mentioned in Surah Nisa, Surah Maida, verse number 90. O believer, wine and gambling and idols mounted for worship and divining arrows are filthy works of shaitan. So turn away from them completely. So this is the Quranic verdict that is about the prohibition of the drinking wine. But we do not find the punishment that should be given to the drinkers. So Quran refers the case to hadith and sunnah of the Holy Prophet, and we find the punishment of drinking wine in hadith, that is flogging. And the second example, that the punishment of adultery for non-married couple, it has been mentioned in Quran in the second verse of Surah Nur, chapter number 24. Allah said in Quran, whip 100 lashes each the adulteress and the adulterer. So the punishment of adultery for non-married couple, it is mentioned in Quran in chapter 24, Surah Nur, verse number 2. That is flogging, that is whipping, that is 100 lashes for both male and female. But when we search the punishment for married couple, Quran is silent and refers the case to the hadith and sunnah of the Prophet. And hadith and sunnah of the Holy Prophet guides us about the punishment of fornication or adultery for married couples, that is stoning to death. So this is the way where Quran and Sunnah both are used together in Islamic law or in legal thinking. The third example that can be quoted, that Allah said in the Holy Quran in Surah Najm, verse number 2, that, and he, Prophet Muhammad, does not speak out of his own desire. His speech is nothing but revelation from Allah which is sent to him. So, this words, it clearly mentions that the acts and the actions and the practices of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is a type of revelation, but we can say that the Quran is a recited revelation, while Hadith and Sunnah, it is non-recited revelation. So Quran has considered, and in chapter 4, verse number 88, chapter 4, Surah Nisa, verse number 88, Allah mentioned in Quran that whoever obeys the messenger obeys Allah. This verse clearly signifies the authenticity of Sunnah and its relationship with the Quran. So Quran and Sunnah both are interlinked and cannot be separated. Quran is a brief description of Allah's commandments, while Hadith is a detailed and comprehensive description of Quranic injunctions that ensure the practicality of the Holy Quran in all times. Therefore, in Hadith, Hazrat Aisha, she is reported to have said that Holy Prophet is, the life of the Holy Prophet is a walking Quran. So, Quran and Sunnah, they are used together in Islamic law, and they cannot be separated by any means. Both are intellect with each other. And when we say that Quran is silent, it doesn't mean that Quran does not provide the solution, but Quran refers the case to the Hadith and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet. So, dear students, this is a brief introduction of this topic, that how Quran and Sunnah or Hadith are used together in Islamic law. And you can also add the punishment of theft that is mentioned in the Holy Quran, that Allah said in Quran in Surah Maida, that cut off his or hand, male or female, who steals. So the punishment of theft, it is mentioned in the Holy Quran, but the procedure, the details and the ruling that should be followed to punish the thieves, it is mentioned in Hadith and Sunnah of the Holy Prophet. So, dear students, I think that these are for these examples. Hopefully, you have understood this topic in depth. If you have any question, you are most welcome. You can ask your question in comment box, and inshallah I will try my best to answer the question. Thank you so much.